Persuasion.
Challenging, rewarding, and just a good bit of fun.
Analysis.
I'm going to use 5.
Work.
Public speaking with a twist.
Well, my name is Anthony Cassimatis. I teach international law and administrative law, and I first became involved in mooting in 1996, so well over 20 years ago.
Hi, my name is Isabelle. I'm a 5th year law and economics student, and I've been competing in mooting since my first year.
So my name's Laura. I'm an arts law student here at UQ, and I'm in my 5th year of study. I've been mooting since my 2nd year.
I first became interested or aware of mooting actually at Open Day when I was still in school. I don't come from a family of lawyers, or I don't really know any lawyers outside of law school, and so I had no idea what mooting was.
Well, mooting's really about learning how to advocate for a client, and you do that throughout the whole process of mooting. So the first thing that you do is you look at the facts, the problem that you're given, and then the next thing is you figure out the law, and then you learn how to apply the law to those facts in a way that best serves your client. And then you begin by putting that down on paper, and finally you present that orally to a judge, basically persuading the judge why your client should win and why the other guy should lose. So the university offers a whole range of different types of moots in different areas of law and for different levels of experience.
Probably the most important variable is how much work is involved. So you've got smaller competitions which involve less work, and you've got medium-sized competitions that have a medium amount of work, and then you've got really big competitions that have an immense amount of work. We get students to do a selection moot where they are given the arguments from the previous year, and they have 2 weeks to prepare. All of the students who are trying out go through that process. They're actually judged by the students from the previous year who worked on that problem and who are very invested in that problem, and so it's a great way of allowing us to see how a student actually deals with the sort of work that a moot involves. It's really common for someone who didn't expect that they would be a good speaker. The more they get to understand the law and the more confident they become with the legal argument, the more persuasive they become when they have to present that argument orally. And so we have many examples of people who never thought they would be getting up and speaking, who end up being some of the best speakers because they really know their stuff.
Often with the standard curriculum, you're learning about what the law is. And I think mooting offers the opportunity to really start practicing applying the law and practicing persuasive argument and practicing ways in which you can explain the law to another person in a way that is, it can be creative, it has to be persuasive, and that's a really dynamic and exciting way to learn the law.
I think what drew me to mooting was the challenge that it presented. I mean, nowhere else in law school can you have the opportunity to present your arguments orally to a judge in quite the same way as you can in mooting.
The most important thing is getting the legal argument right, and mooting is a great way of doing that because you've got the judge who's interested and asking questions, you've got the other side who's trying to pull your argument apart, and that combined effect of the disinterested judge who's just trying to get to the bottom of the dispute and the other side who's pulling in the opposite direction really is a wonderful way to learn about the law.
Also to the research component of mooting. So there's a fantastic opportunity to delve really deeply into one niche specific area of law.
So the law school has an outstanding record, probably one of the best in the world. So if you take the maritime moot competition, we have an absolutely outstanding record. You take the largest international mooting competition, which is the Jessup moot competition, which has the final in Washington DC. We won that in 2018. Most recently, we've won it 3 times. There are only 2 or 3 universities on the planet that have won it 3 or more times. And we've won also the Willem C. Vis International Commercial Arbitration Moot Competition. This year we were semi-finalists. We made it to the final 4. It was an online version because of COVID-19. But we've previously won that competition twice as well.
My best achievement to date has been coming runner-up in the Australian rounds of the Jessup Moot competition, and we also won Best Memorial for our applicant memorials in the Australian rounds. The Jessup Moot is notoriously competitive. I think especially in Australia, and only the top 2 teams qualify to compete in the international rounds. And so getting to that point was incredibly exciting, especially after putting months and months of work into the competition. Probably the highlight of uni so far.
So for a student, not only are they getting the opportunity of doing something very practical, which will prepare them for life after university, but they're also becoming part of a network which will be directly related to their employment options.
I think that UQ students do so well for a variety of reasons, and one reason is obviously we have fantastic facilities here at UQ. We have a state-of-the-art moot court, and we also have state-of-the-art coaches and academics, and you simply can't underestimate the value that those facilities and that experience right here at the law school can give you.
There are people who I have seen as students in the Mooting program who've gone on to be partners of law firms, who've gone on to be judges. In fact, there is a partner of an international law firm in Paris, Freshfields Brookhouse Derringer, who is the head of the global international law division of that firm, who I've seen through the Mooting program at UQ and who's been an amazing supporter.
Mooting is most definitely open to everybody. Before I came to UQ, I had no prior debating experience, no prior mooting experience, and I went to a small public school in central Queensland. So if I can do it, absolutely everybody can do it. I'd really encourage anybody who comes to UQ, no matter their experience, to apply, because it's not about what you've done at high school, it's about the work that you put in here at the university.